Hello there. Thank you for joining me for today's practice. My name's Paula. So today's sequence is a bit of gentle mobility through the body, and we're going to be using the wall. So you'll want to set up your mat so it's right up against the wall, and if you have got a blanket and 2 blocks, just please have them so when we come down to the mat, we'll just do a couple of things on the ground and most of it will be up on the wall. So make sure you're nice and comfortable, and let's make a start. So we're going to start by placing the hands on the wall and walking your feet back. And you might be able to walk back a little bit further so you can get into more of an L shape, but if you need to stay up a little bit wider, feel free to go for that as well. Setting up the heels so they're underneath the sitting bones, or just a bit wider, so make it wide enough so you feel comfortable in regards to your belly, but keep the legs parallel. Little micro bend through the knees. Crown of the head is reaching forward. Ears alongside the upper arms. And gently pressing the heels of the hands into the wall and reaching the sitting bones back. Starting to extend into your breathings, slowing down the inhale and slowing down the exhale. And now let's take a bend through the knees tracking towards the second toe, and straighten, draw the quadriceps up. And take a bend and straighten. Bend and straighten, and again and straighten. Let's alternate now. I'm going to bend the right knee and bend the left knee. As you bend into the right knee, push into the right hand, draw the left hip back. Bend into the left knee, push into the left hand, draw the right hip back. And going again. Finishing off that left leg, and then we're going to rise up onto the ball of the right foot and then alternate, rise onto the ball of the left foot. Rise onto the right and rise onto the left. Keep the breath nice and easy. And we'll just do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower both heels down, bend through the knees, and then taking a spinal roll, draw the quadriceps up, all the way up. Drop the shoulders away from the ears, lift through the sternum, and then press the sitting bones back. Bend through the knees, spinal roll up, letting the chin tuck in, unfurl the spine, shoulders away from the ears, lift the eyes. And again, press the sitting bones back. Bend the knees, spine roll up, shoulders down, and press it back. Last one, bend the knees and spinal roll. Coming up, shoulders away from the ears and pressing it back. Now we're going to bend into this left leg, circle the right arm back, follow it with the eyes, and then bringing it back. Bend into the right leg, circle that left arm and bring it back. Bend into the left, circle the right. Bend into the right, circle the left. And again, bend into the left, circle the right. We'll just move through for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend both knees, take a spine roll to come up, shoulders away from the ears, hold it here for a couple of breaths. Reach the tailbone down in between the ankles. And then walking the feet forward up towards the top of the mat, or the back of the mat I should say. Feet are going to be together. Open the hands up at shoulder height, a bit wider than the shoulders. And you're about a foot distance away from the wall. Just take a moment here. Find your breath. Now we're going to work through this twisting sequence. So keep the hands exactly where they are, and we're going to walk the feet around away from the wall, keeping the hands exactly where they are. Try to walk the feet as far towards the right as you can. Turn the eyes to look over the right shoulder. Taking an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to release the hands and take the hands over to the opposite side, trying to keep the feet where they are. Take an inhale. As you exhale, walk the feet back towards the center. Inhaling. Exhale, walk your feet around towards the right, keeping the hands where they are. Keep walking the feet around as much as you can. Looking over the right shoulder. Taking an inhale. As you exhale, release the hands and take them over to the other side. Take an inhale and then exhale, walk your feet back towards the center. One full breath here. Inhaling and then exhale, walking your feet around as far over as you can. Taking an inhale and then exhale, releasing and taking the hands over. It's pretty tricky. Just hold it here. Inhale and then exhale, walking your hands back to center. We're going to do that one more time this way, and then we're going to swap it around. Inhaling, exhale, walking your feet as far over to the right as you can. Looking over to the right. Inhale and then exhale. Take your hands to the other side. Taking an inhale and then exhale back to center. Inhaling here. Exhale to the left now. Walking your feet around to the left as much as you can. You might notice there's a difference between one side to the other. And then as you exhale, releasing, bringing the hands over to the wall. Taking an inhale and then exhale, walking back to center. Inhaling. Exhale, walking your feet over to the left as far over as you can, looking over towards the left shoulder. Inhale, and then as you exhale, releasing the hands and placing them on the wall. Inhale, and then exhale, walk your feet back to center. Inhaling, walking your feet over to the left, looking over the left shoulder. Inhale, and then exhale, bringing the hands over. Inhale to hold and exhale back to center. Just two more times. Inhaling, exhale, walking your feet, keeping them together as much as you can. And then as you exhale, hands to the wall. Inhale to hold and exhale to come back to center. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, walking your feet over. Inhale to hold and exhale, hands to the wall. Inhaling and exhale, back to center. Turn your feet to the right. We're going to step the right foot forward and then the left foot back, keeping the feet like hip distance apart. And we're going to take this left arm up into that 90-degree position. So just so you can see, it's that way. So that left elbow a little bit higher than shoulder height, and you might need to come a little bit closer in towards the wall. We're just going to hold it here. So just opening up through that front of the shoulder into the front of the chest. Easy breathing. And that twisting action should have warmed you up a little bit there. If you'd like to, you can straighten into that left arm. And for some of you, you might be able to turn slightly away from the wall just to increase that sensation. And then let's return back to center and we'll go to the other side. So turning both feet to the left, that right arm up at that 90-degree angle, Right elbow a little bit higher than the shoulder. Trying to rotate that right hip forward. Just using your breath, particularly on the exhale, noticing if there's any space that starts to open up. And maybe you want to extend that right arm to straighten. And then just for some, maybe starting to rotate the feet slightly over to the left to see how you go, just to increase the stretch. And then let's release, coming back to face the wall for a moment. And then let's just release those arms, turning to face away from the wall. And then just stepping the feet a couple of feet away from the wall, leaning the upper body against the wall. Let the head rest back, let the arms hang. Let's take a breath here. And let's take an inhale. As you exhale, bend through the legs, slide down the wall. And as you do this, bring the arms up and take a little C curve through the upper body. And then as you inhale, we're going to straighten the legs, bring the arms back. Exhale to C curve through the upper body. And then inhale to come back. Exhale, C curve. And inhale to come back up. And again. And we'll go 2 more. And last one. And coming back up. And then walking your feet just back up. And we're going to come down to a seated position now. So just making your way down onto your mat. I'm going to set up my blanket just right up the end here so I can take a seat. If you've got your blanket, set it up in the same way so you can sit right up against the wall. So we're going to sit up right up against the wall so we've got that support. And then we're going to take our Baddha. So soles the feet together, knees open wide. And if you've got your blocks here and you just want to make this a little bit more supportive, you could pop your blocks under here. Or if you want to go a little bit lower, just find the height that feels good for you. Rest the upper back on the wall, close down the eyes. You can just rest the hands down onto the thighs or rest them into your lap. Gently following the breathing in and out through the nose. Just allowing the shoulders to drop away from the ears. Feeling into the length along the entire spinal column. Relaxing the muscles of the face. This last few moments here. And then gently opening up the eyes, popping the blocks off to the side, and then just releasing the legs out long for a moment. You just give the legs a little bit of a wriggle out. And then we're going to come into our cross-legged position, have the right leg in front, and if possible, we're just going to go for a slightly over-crossed position here. And you can still continue to use the wall if you'd like to, or you can come slightly away from the wall. Over crossing. If it's available, you might even stack the right shin on top of the left shin, keeping both feet flexed, so you don't want to overstretch the outside of that right foot. You could pop a block in that gap if that feels appropriate for you. And we're just going to hold it here, just resting the hands lightly on the inside of that right foot and the top of the knee. Letting the shoulders drop away from the ears. And you could stay here, or you might start to be able to hinge forward at the hips. You could bring your hands down onto the mat or a little bit further forward. So as you exhale, thinking about that right knee dropping down towards that left foot. And then taking an inhale, walking your hands back up, and then gently releasing the legs out long. And once again, just give them a little bit of a wriggle out, and then we'll swap it around. So taking that left leg in front, and once again, you want to overcross the feet slightly, so a little bit more of a box shape with the legs. And then if you can, you could take shin bone to shin bone, trying to flex both feet. And we'll just start by staying upright, and again you might be staying up against the wall to get that support. If it's comfortable, closing down your eyes. Just continue to lengthen up through both sides of the waist. As you exhale, thinking about that left knee, just dropping down towards that right foot. And then if it's available, then you might start to shift your weight forward and bring your hands down in front. Just listening in for any pockets of space that start to open. Last couple of breaths here. And then starting to walk your hands back upright and releasing the legs out long, giving the legs a little bit of a wriggle out. Keep your legs a little bit wider so you've got some space, and then if you feel comfortable to do so, we're going to start to come forward into our forward fold. And if you're still sitting up in the blanket, just making sure that you're not hyperextending through the knees here. A little bit of engagement through the quadriceps. Keep flexing through the feet. Taking one more inhale, reach the sternum forward. As you exhale, see if there's any more space. And then inhale, walking your hands to come back upright. And then let's make our way down onto our side for our Savasana. So you could use your blanket to rest your leg on, or you could use your block in between the thighs as well. So we're going to lie down on our left side. Extend that left arm to rest your head down, or you could use a cushion. And you could bring your blanket, or if you've got a cushion or a bolster, bring it in so you can just rest that right knee on top. Just take the time and make yourself feel comfortable. Closing down your eyes. With each exhale, allowing the body to get a little bit heavier and a little bit softer. Just completely letting go. Allowing yourself to come to rest for the next few minutes. Please feel free to stay resting for as long as you would like to. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time. Namaste.